Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks.
Well, guys, what do you expect me to do? Send them all with you?
Wait a minute. I love that idea. How about some backstage passes?
Oh.
Imagination works the best when it's set free.
You said it, Doc. Imagination is a blast.
Are you about ready?
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale.
You got a minute and a half.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Sounds of the Monorail podcast. My name's Kyle Paxton, casting alongside me my twin brother Derek Paxton.
Hey, how's it going, Kyle?
It's
specifically.
It's going good. How are you, Derek?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. You never ask me how I'm doing.
So today in the podcast we have Epcot Forever thoughts, Onward trailer thoughts, Jungle Cruise trailer thoughts, Spiderman ride in California Adventure featuring new web shooting technology, and there's also a rumor that Disney's going to buy Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm curious what you'll have to say about that. Want to start from the top?
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, we also have top 5 unpopular opinions that we have for Disney parks.
You got it. So
all right, so we'll do that after the news, as per usual.
Sounds like a plan. So what were your overall thoughts on Epcot Forever?
So I think it's actually a pretty good show for what it is. It's a placeholder until the next one, you know? If this was the new permanent show, I'd be pretty disappointed. But overall, I think it's fine for what it is. It's just a temporary thing until the big show comes out next year. With that said, the kites are the coolest. the light show they use with the kites, and they have fireworks coming off of them. Such a good, unique idea. I thought it was fantastic, though.
To be honest, so when I saw it, it hit my expectations and actually exceeded them a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'd say it just hit my expectations. I didn't exceed them, though.
Yeah, it makes sense. I felt like it did what it was supposed to do, and a little bit more, because the only part I didn't like about it was I'm not a big fan of the children singing.
Oh, I hated that. Yeah.
I don't know why you have to do that. I don't know why the kid has to say,
Yeah, well, the difference
between
that...
tower. Why can't it...
That would have been cool if it was just Patrick Warburton. Yeah. I wonder if they would have had to pay him if they did that. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. They probably wouldn't have had to. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure they don't want to pay Patrick Warburton for doing stuff. But the difference between something like this and Wishes is I feel like Wishes was very tasteful. And also Wishes was very obvious. It's Magic Kingdom, So it's a little bit more expected that it's going to be more on the kid Disney side. That's fine. But it didn't even go overboard. It was just a couple times you hear the kids singing Wishes, But here it was every time there's a song with lyrics, a kid was singing it,
Yeah, exactly. The Whole New World wasn't a kid, but
oh, that's right, yeah.
It wasn't every song, but it was most of them, or just the phrases were typically kids.
Yeah.
Which if that's your thing, it's cool, but it didn't really work super well for me. But I loved the fireworks. I think they used very unique fireworks that were great for Epcot, which is what this show is a celebration of Epcot, which is cool. And yeah, the kites were super cool. The kites were I was expecting them to use these kites as a way to get rid of fireworks.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Which I don't think is a bad idea. I thought that was probably more of a smart idea, way to cut cost and make it something cooler.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden fireworks were shooting out of the kites, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. We should specify that it just kind of leaves a trail of fireworks, not actually shooting anything off.
True, yeah.
For anyone that actually hasn't seen it, just kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know what you'd call those fireworks exactly, but
sparklers.
Yeah, they're sparklers, but more than
heavy duty sparklers.
Yeah, more than just a stick. They're kind of that atmosphere, and they're kind of making up the tail ends of the kite. So it looked really cool. So that was my favorite part about the entire show was the kites, and then it just got even better when they come out a second time. later in the show, and fireworks are trailing them. Like, it looked really cool. I really liked it.
Yeah, for sure.
But we do need to talk about the magic carpet in the room. How'd you feel about A Whole New World? The song and they used the song at the end of the show.
Yeah. So everybody I talked to before I saw it, the full thing. I watched the fireworks before, but I didn't get the music, and then I saw it again with the music and stuff. And everybody said that they didn't like A Whole New World. I actually thought it was pretty...
You liked it?
Yeah, I thought it transitioned well, and I liked that it was like a new transition.
Interesting. Because I thought it was a horrible transition.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a good transition, and I liked that it was like a new rendition of it too. I was really expecting it to just be the song from Aladdin. I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't, and it was like an actually new transition.
I will say it's not as bad as I thought it was, because I didn't see Epcot Forever first day. I saw it probably like the fifth night it was open, something like that. So I already heard a lot of things about the show, and I heard specifically about the Whole New World segment. It was getting a lot of flack online and stuff. So I was expecting the worst. And so I was pretty pleasantly surprised at how it turned out. Like it wasn't horrible, it wasn't bad, but I thought the transition was awful, because it's like I can't remember how exactly it goes, but they're singing like the Figment song or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember what part exactly, and then just randomly out of nowhere, mid sentence, they go into "A Whole New World." Like, do you remember that? Like, I need to watch it again, I think
I do too,
because I just remember it just being like I literally started laughing because it caught me off guard. The whole time I was expecting, like, when are they gonna start playing the Aladdin song? And it was just out of the blue for me. It literally made me just like keel over laughing. I thought it was so funny.
Oh, weird.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it seemed like it transitioned well.
Okay.
Like it went from one song to the next, but maybe I was just expecting it to happen, so it didn't like jar. It wasn't jarring to me.
But I was expecting it to happen too. But I was expecting like an actual transition, not what we got. But it was pretty tasteful, because the only lyrics of the song was the very first part where they said "A whole new world," and then the rest was instrumental. So they didn't sing it anymore after that one line, which I thought was great. It would have felt a little silly to me if they were singing like the entire chorus. So I thought it was a very tasteful thing. I get what they're going for, putting A Whole New World. It's World Showcase. That's what they're trying to do, I guess. So it worked fine. Like, it's not my favorite part. I thought it was going to be like hands down the worst part of the whole fireworks show. To me, it's probably the kids are the worst part. But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the show was, like, the fireworks were pretty cool. The kites were cool. The jet skis were interesting. And yeah, I liked the music for the most part, except for the kid.
Yeah.
Like, the kid singing didn't ruin it for me. I just thought it would have been better if it was just normal.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I love the fireworks shows. I don't even know what it's called, but you probably do. The one in Disneyland when we went last October, you know what I'm talking about? That fireworks show. It's kind of like a celebration of like different rides and attractions and areas in Disneyland.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was.
I don't know what it was called, but I loved that. I love the concept of having a fireworks show about your parks and celebrating your parks. And this was kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate getting to hear the universe of energy.
That was my favorite part.
So like that, yeah.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I got super excited when that song came on.
That's cool. You hear the Figment song. You hear the freaking the fruits and vegetables song. Like that was crazy. So,
yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of that song.
I'm not either. But
it was cool to like hear it.
Did we ever watch that show?
I don't know,
because it might have been gone by the time we kind of were going to
that song. That like veggie fruit.
Mm-hmm.
That like I had it in my head like a few months ago, and I had no idea what it was from. And I wasn't singing veggie fruit. I was singing patty fruit. I don't know why. And I like couldn't figure out where it was from.
And you watched the show and you're like, oh.
No, I can't. This is a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember just like I kept asking people. I was like, what is this?
Interesting.
Because it was like bothering me so much, and it was like stuck in my head. And then I finally figured it out.
Cool. Cool story. Yeah. So overall, out of 10, what are you giving it?
An 8.
Giving it like a 7. Okay. But that's still good.
Yeah,
still good. But like I said, if it was around forever, I'd be pretty disappointed. But it's around for a year, and I'm gonna appreciate it for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited for Harmonious? Us?
Yes. I hate the name, but
Harmonious.
I am excited for it. I actually like the concept of Epcot Forever more, but I think it'll be better than this one.
Yeah, I'm curious. All right, so what'd you think of Onward?
So I like this. This is an actual trailer, so it kind of gave us an idea what the plot's gonna be. You know, last one was more of a teaser, so it just kind of told us it existed.
Yeah,
but this was a lot nicer because we actually know what the plot's gonna be. Gave me a very Weekend at Bernie's vibe with the.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a movie where like a guy dies like at like a party or something like that, and two guys have to like fake that he's like a living guy. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah.
So this is kind of the same where you know they stuff like a sweater and like a ski mask or whatever it is and sunglasses on this just topless dude, like topless as in he doesn't have a top half of his body.
Yeah.
And so they're like pretending he's actually like normal. And like he got in trouble with like that gang from the I don't know what they were,
the Pixies or whatever.
It was Pixies, that's what they were. Like because they were he just looked like he was staring at them or something. Kind of the same vibe, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I like this trailer a lot more than the first one. The first one I was like, well, it's Pixar, it's probably gonna be good, but I'm getting real like. The same vibes I got with Zootopia a little bit, where like the trailer really didn't sell me on Zootopia. Like Zootopia, I saw the trailer and was like, "Oh, it's a DreamWorks movie." Mm-hmm. Disney, what? Like it was weird.
Yeah.
Same way with this Onward trailer. It doesn't look like a Disney Pixar movie to me. But this trailer that just came out, I really liked it, and I thought it really showed that it was or proved to me that it was more Pixar.
I gotcha.
So I'm really more excited for this one now.
I'm just excited that Pixar is making original movies now. Like no more sequels.
Yeah. Well,
or at least no more sequels for a while.
When did Inside Out come out?
It's probably like 2015.
Okay.
Maybe 2016. No, not 2016. I'm gonna say 2015. I don't know how right that is. That's my gut
I think
answer.
It was one of those two. I can't remember.
I think that was the last original one, wasn't it?
I think so.
Because they made Incredibles 2, Cars 3, Toy Story 4 since then. Unless there's another one I'm missing.
Was Finding
The Good
Dory
Dinosaur was the same year. I don't know if it was before or after Inside Out, but it's Finding Dory. Yeah, Finding Dory was after, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know. They got on this kick where they were just like, let's just make sequels. I don't really know why. I mean, did they... I don't know. Were their sequels doing better than like their original, like Inside Out and Good Dinosaur? Did they do better typically? I'm assuming they did. I'd be shocked if they didn't. I think
so. Like Incredibles 2 did amazing.
Yeah.
That like blew up.
Mm-hmm. Made a lot of money for not a very good movie.
It had like the #1 gross for like an animated movie up until some other movie blew it out. I can't remember what one it was, but it beat all the other movies, all the other Pixar movies. But yeah, I don't know. Onward looks funny. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's got a really good cast. I mean, just Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. I feel like that's every like white teenage girl's dream. I don't know.
That's fair.
I think I think just having your celebrity crush be Tom Holland or Chris Pratt is like a basic white girl tier celebrity crush is all.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm crushing on them too, but no, but like for real, I don't know. It's just I think just casting those two alone are gonna get a lot of people going to this movie. You know?
I think so.
It could.
Yeah.
The trailer could have been pretty bad, and no one would have interest. But just the fact that it's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland would get a lot of people in those seats.
I feel like people love the idea of the unicorns being trash too.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
I don't know. For me, it was like a little too easy. At least in the first trailer, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I like that joke." But
See, I'm not crazy
funny.
about it. Like I'm indifferent about it. I didn't get excited because stuff like that's been done before, you know.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. It's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
When is that coming out? Do you know? I don't even know.
Great question. I don't know.
Let's look it up real fast because I'm curious. It might. Does it even have a release date? You think it probably does?
March 6th.
Oh, okay.
2020.
So about 5 more months.
Yeah, that's sooner than I thought. Actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, 2020 just doesn't. That seems like a far away time for me. Like this whole year went by so fast.
Yeah.
like I don't even remember September happening.
I know. No, for real though. Like I got to Florida in June, and it's so weird that it's October already. Like it's pretty messed up.
All right. Well, now we can talk about your movie,
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise.
The Jungle Cruise trailer just released, and I had mixed feelings on the trailer.
Me too.
It was
Me too.
different than what I was expecting, but it's not necessarily. I'm not like not into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, this is amazing. I can't believe they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was expecting it to be a little more. I don't know. Like,
Creative.
maybe.
That's the word you're looking for, dude.
Maybe. But like even like just more silly almost. Like
that's true. It
like
wasn't.
the comedy was different than I was expecting it to be. The humor in it was different. At least what they portrayed on the trailer. It was more like it was like this weird action-y thing with like I don't even know how to explain it.
Okay, so if you want proof that Disney, the Walt Disney Company, has lost like almost all their creativity in this world, watch the Jungle Cruise trailer. Now that seems super harsh because I'm actually kind of excited for the Jungle Cruise movie, but it's literally just Pirates of the Caribbean. They took they looked back at Pirates of the Caribbean, their first blockbuster hit that was based on a ride, and they're like, let's do that again with Jungle Cruise. So they said they greenlit the Jungle Cruise project as long as it has the same similar action scenes as Pirates of the Caribbean and similar comedy, and it's just going to be like the same formula. And let's put Dwayne The Rock Johnson in there. Like you know, same exact formula as Pirates of the Caribbean. Like same action scenes, same sense of humor, same like subtle references to the ride, and then put in like an A-list actor like Johnny Depp. It's like the same formula, and it's gonna do amazing. It's gonna sell like crazy. They're gonna make a franchise out of it. They're gonna make a Jungle Cruise 2. It's gonna be about the same quality as the first one. Make a Jungle Cruise 3. It's gonna suck, and they're gonna make like 3 more, and they're all gonna suck.
I don't know. I see this more as like a Haunted Mansion type release or
Really?
a Country
Because
Bears.
I think they want another franchise. They haven't had a live action franchise in a long time. They
want one, but I don't think it's gonna get there.
live action franchise that isn't Marvel or Star Wars, I should say.
Yeah.
Like they want another Pirates of the Caribbean so bad. I can tell.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
for
want that
sure.
so bad. And I can you think of another like franchise that isn't Marvel or Star Wars that's out right now that's like doing well? Like I
That's
can't even,
live action?
That's like live action. Like your Lord of the Rings, your
You're talking about like just in general, not Disney.
in general, yeah. There's probably one I'm not thinking of, but like I feel like so many companies right now want to have their like blockbuster franchise, and none of them are really sticking right now because everyone's just going to superhero movies.
Yeah, I mean like there's like Fast and Furious, but I don't even know.
Oh
how
yeah,
well-
yeah. That's like that still does well, I think, right? So that's a good answer. I
Yeah.
think. Wait, are they still making those? I don't even know.
Yeah, Hobbs
Okay.
and Shaw just came out recently.
Oh, that was a Fast and Furious. Sure. Okay. Did that do well?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know.
I can't
either.
remember. I don't watch any movies that aren't Disney. I feel like all the movies I watch are Disney.
Yeah, I don't know, but like that's my problem with the Jungle Cruise trailer. With all that said, I'm actually really excited for it. I think it's gonna be like good. You know, I think it's gonna be fine. It's kind of how I feel about the Lion King, the live action Lion King. Like, I knew it was gonna be good. It's Lion King. You know, it's gonna be fine, but it's also an uncreative movie. They're just, you know, like I don't. I'm curious how creative Jungle Cruise is gonna be. Maybe this trailer is just giving me off hyper Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, and I'm gonna be totally wrong when it comes out. I hope so. But that's like, I just immediately watched. The first 15 seconds was like, they're just doing Jack Sparrow with this girl in her action scenes.
That is true. I didn't like see that, but then you like mentioned that to me before this podcast, and you were like, it's just, she's like literally Jack Sparrow, and it was like weird how it was similar.
It's just a Pirates of the Caribbean action scene where something goes wrong, but it works out in the end. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
But I am also really excited for this movie still. I mean, definitely didn't like crush my hopes and dreams for this movie. I think it could be really good. It just wasn't exactly what I was expecting, and I, you know what happens when you go in with like a huge expectation and then the things aren't exactly what you were expecting it to be. Mm-hmm. That happened to me with Thor Ragnarok, where like I went into the movie expecting this like a certain way, and then it like totally wasn't. I walked out of the movie not really liking it, but now it's like one of my favorite MCU movies.
On you? Yeah.
So like I feel like it's going to be kind of the same way. I just have to adjust with what the filmmakers are making and go into it, you know, wanting to see a film that they're making, not the one I have in my head. So hopefully it's good.
Aren't they making a Haunted Mansion movie again? Aren't they trying again? It's directed by that one like real popular director.
Is this the animated thing?
Look it up real fast. No, I think it's a live action.
Oh.
Let me look it up because I could be totally wrong.
Haunted Mansion 2 with Eddie Murphy?
No, I think it's like it's a new thing. Like, you know.
I heard Eddie Murphy is really hard to work with.
Oh, I heard that too. I heard he's a pretty rough actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro. That guy.
Oh, is that confirmed? He's making a Haunted Mansion?
Yeah, that, I think it's been kind of like rumored for a while, or not rumored, but like it's kind of been like production hell in like a way. I think it's having issues like getting its feet on the ground, but I think they want to make that.
And it's live action.
I want to say it is, but also I don't know how like confirmed this is. You know, like I know it's like I think it's confirmed. It's just like not. You know, they haven't started filming yet.
Interesting.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard of that. Interesting. That sounds cool though.
Yeah, but looks like this article I'm reading was in October 14th, 2018. So maybe it's kind of dying out. Maybe it's like everything. And that, don't take my word for it. I've just heard, you know, words in the grapevine about that. Is that how the saying goes?
Something like that.
Close enough.
Yeah, you get it.
I've heard rumors about that for a while, and then just realized like, oh man, they're gonna make a cinematic universe with their ride vehicles movies. Okay.
Well, I feel like they tried to with Country Bear and Haunted Mansion, and then didn't work. Nothing.
Wait, was that seriously gonna be like?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No. But they like had a string of like attraction movies, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Just Country Bear and Haunted Mansion? Wasn't there another one?
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Pirates of the Caribbean. There we go. And then Pirates stuck, and then Country Bear and Haunted Mansion.
Apparently Pirates of the Caribbean almost got canceled like midway through like filming because of how bad Country Bears did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they like almost pulled the plug because it did so bad. Which I thought was really funny. I always thought Pirates of the Caribbean came out before Country Bears, and that's what sparked Haunted Mansion and Country Bears releasing. But apparently Country Bears was first.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think Haunted Mansion came out after. They were like, oh, now we got to make another one. And then it like bombed so hard that they're like, okay, never mind. Let's just stick to Pirates.
Oh, there was a Tower of Terror movie too.
Oh, yeah. That was straight to TV, right? Or
I think
straight
so.
to DVD or something.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But we should probably move on.
Yeah.
So, at the New York Comic Con, it was revealed that the new Spider-Man ride in California Adventure is going to feature new web shooter technology. So basically, the guests are going to be web shooting, with their web shooters. So it sounds cool. That's pretty much all we know. So it's like, you know.
I wonder if they're gonna go for like the Smuggler's Run style of ride, where like you know how you're piloting and stuff. Like if you mess up, are you gonna just not?
I hope not.
Really?
Yeah, because I like Smuggler's Run. It's pretty fun, but like at the same time, it's super stressful. Like I'm like the entire time not wanting to destroy anything or.
Oh man, I've been with some bad pilots, and I think it's fun. I think it's funny. Like
I was the pilot, and we were bad.
Dude, we were not bad.
No.
Me.
I was pilot recently.
Oh,
and I was running into everything.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's like, well, I think not to get on a Smuggler's Run rant, but it's just so on rails that you need to kind of like know where you're going in order to be good at being a pilot. So it's like, no matter what, you're gonna like run into things unless if you've ridden it 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just having like two pilots, one go up, one goes left, but then it's like, well, I thought you were going right, and now I went up, and it's stressful. Okay.
Yeah. It would have been cool if they had several different variations too, you know, so it's not always the same.
Yeah. Like I'm hoping Rise of the Resistance is gonna be like super chill, and it's just a ride, like a normal ride. I can just sit and experience what they want me to experience.
Right. I gotcha.
So I'm hoping that the Spider-Man ride is not stressful, but I hope it's cool though. I hope it's innovative and stuff. Like, is it gonna end up being like a Toy Story Mania type thing, where it's like, are you scoring points?
I hope I would really like it if they did something creative and clever. Because like, I know I said that whole thing about Disney not being a creative company anymore. I think they're still there with their rides. They still experiment their rides for the most part. You know. I know, like, Flight of Passage was more or less just a Soarin' clone, but at least it did its own take on it. It did things differently, things like that.
Yeah, cool ride vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's enough differences from it in Soarin' that I would still call it creative, you know? And then there's things like Smuggler's Run, whether it hit or miss, like it missed for you, more or less hit for me. It was still a creative idea.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it hit
fine.
for me, too. Like, I really
okay.
like Smuggler's Run,
but
it's just a little stressful.
I gotcha. But then there's Universal, who literally just, like, makes movie rides. Like, a ride where you're in front of a TV screen. Like, that's, like, every new ride. Like, that's not creative.
Yeah.
Like, they're bankrupt creatively in their theme park area. Disney's bankrupt creatively in their movie area. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last creative movie they made. Well, creative live action. Let's say that. And I'll throw Lion King in that mix, even though it's not live action. But like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I enjoy watching their live actions, but it is just a remake of the original, so the creativity isn't necessarily there all the way. Mm-hmm. Even if they like change it a little bit, you're still. Yeah, I agree with that.
But even then, like Mary Poppins, like I wouldn't call Mary Poppins Returns. I wouldn't call that a creative movie.
I liked Mary Poppins Returns, but yeah, it is very similar to like the original Mary Poppins.
It's just like they're like, what made the first one good? Let's just do that again, you know?
Yeah.
And like that was my problem. Mary Poppins Returns. Anyway, let's get back to the Spider-Man ride. What I'm trying to say is Disney is very creative with their rides, and I hope they keep experimenting. This sounds like it could be experimental, and that's awesome. They should do that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like, I am very curious what this web shooter technology means. Is it going to change the flow of the ride depending on what you hit or if you hit it during the ride attraction? Is it just fluff? Is it just, like, you're going to be there and you can go, like, pew pew, and you can shoot webs out, but they don't really do anything? Like, maybe if you shoot, maybe you'll shoot webs, or if you don't, webs will come out anyway to, like save you.
I think it's the story is, like, there's... Spider-Man accidentally like lets out spider drones or something everywhere, and you have to like shoot the spider drones.
Oh, okay. So I could see it being like Toy Story Mania then.
Like that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know what other rides are going in Marvel Land.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know I'm gonna go.
That.
I think it's gonna do a lot better than Galaxy's Edge.
I'm super excited for it.
It's gonna do so much better than Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I'm way more excited for it than I was for Galaxy's Edge.
Well, Marvel's at a different place than Star Wars is. It's just like it's on a whole different level in terms of like popularity and success. You know, the Marvel movies are just insane, and I'm curious when they're finally gonna start dipping down, because people have been saying for the past like 8 years that we're gonna get sick of these superhero movies. they're gonna stop doing well, and they've only gotten better. Endgame was like the #1 grossing movie like ever or whatever it was like. So like, I don't know. Like, I'm curious. Like, if after finally Endgame, now that that whole Thanos arc is finally finished, maybe now will start dying down, or maybe people are just gonna keep going to them because people only go to superhero movies nowadays.
I feel like it'll die out a little bit. Like, it's not like, I feel like it's gonna, instead of $800,000 to $1 million, it's gonna start going to like $700 million, $600, and then those headlines are gonna appear like, oh man,
Yeah,
is it
Like-
is it busted? But then once the movies start picking up a lot, it's gonna like shoot back up.
Gotcha.
But I think at the beginning it's gonna be a little bit,
Okay.
unless if it's like Spider-Man, you know.
Yeah.
But it, like, I could see the Eternals not doing as well.
Me too.
You
Me
know?
too. Well, I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy. I said the same
I
thing about
guess.
Guardians of the
That is
Galaxy.
true.
Same thing.
Yeah,
I think Guardians of the Galaxy had a unique enough like direction, like and aesthetic, that set everything apart. I can't remember a movie that was last like Guardians of the Galaxy, like so unique. You know,
Yeah.
it had such a unique style.
It's true. And to be honest, the Eternals, they sound kind of boring to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see what they do with them, but they don't sound all that exciting.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way. And back in like 2014 or 2013, whenever Guardians of the Galaxy 1 came out, I remember seeing like, I can't believe they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like, such a weird like set of characters. I don't think like normal audiences are gonna resonate with these, like a raccoon and a tree. That's so weird. And that's probably the stupidest statement ever to make in 2019. Rocket and Groot are like the most popular like characters in the Marvel right now, or some of the most popular. So like, it's just, but like for Eternals, I'm just thinking, man, like that just sounds kind of boring, you know. So, but maybe they'll do something creative. I hope they do.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
For sure.
Anyway, anything else you want to say about the ride? We kind of got into Marvel.
Yeah, not really. We can go ahead and discuss this rumor that
Okay.
like just appeared. Just a rumor, nothing confirmed. No official statements or anything. But there was a rumor that Disney was interested in buying Spider-Man for $4 to $5 billion. That's billion with a B.
And do you know how much they bought Star Wars for? Because we were talking about it earlier. I thought it was $2 billion, but we were watching a video and they said it was $4 billion.
Yeah.
Let me look that up because
So, $5 billion is a lot for one character. Now, I don't know. It would be interesting to see, like, if this deal were to be like a thing, to see like with the specifics on it too. Like, if they buy Spider-Man, is it just Peter Parker, or is it the Spider-Verse? Or are they getting everything? Because I don't see how Sony sells Spider-Man.
there's no way. There's no way they're selling Spider-Man. There aren't very many people and companies besides like the entire country of China that is like holding Disney by like the throat. Sony is in a way because they own Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Disney needs Spider-Man. And Sony knows that. They're not going to sell it to them. As long as Sony owns Spider-Man, they can keep making their Spider-Man movies that are like Venom, Black Cat, and they're going to do well for no reason other than that they're part of Spider-Man universe. And at the same time, Disney, one of the biggest media companies on the planet, is like paying them up the butt to like use them in their movies. You know, Sony has Disney by the throat that they own Spider-Man. I'm saying all this, and next week we're gonna hear that Disney's buying Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but
I
just
guess-
don't see it happening.
I guess it all depends on what the shareholders and the board want to do with it. Like, if they have faith that Spider-Man can produce, financially well for them. But I don't see how they don't think that. I mean, Sony themselves, without Disney, produced Venom, which grossed like $800-900 million or something. And that's not even Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And then you also had the Raimi films, which did extremely well. And Into the Spider-Verse dethroned Pixar at the Oscars.
Yeah,
Like-
wasn't it Disney? Wreck-Her Off too.
Oh, Disney, whatever. Disney, Pixar. Whatever.
Same thing.
Like, that's nuts. And I don't know. I just don't see why you would sell it to Disney. Disney's kind of in this position where they need Sony. I
Disney
don't know.
needs Sony more than Sony needs Disney, because Sony right now is making Into the Spider-Verse, Venom, and they're doing amazing. Like, one of those are a really good movie, one of those are a really bad movie, but they're both making a lot of money. And right now Sony has a franchise on their hands with Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse 2, I don't know if it's announced or not, but it's gonna come out. There's no way they're not making a second one of those.
Yeah.
And if they sell Peter Parker to Disney, they're not going to be able to do that. Well, they probably could. They could probably still have, Gwen and stuff, Spider-Gwen. But, like, Peter Parker's also popular enough that they need to have him in those movies. You know?
I think $5 billion is a huge price tag for one character.
Yeah.
Or IP, I guess. And you're not really gaining much out of, like, right away anyway, I guess, because you already have Peter Parker in your films for 2 more years. So it's like, I guess it's more just like paying to get rid of the headache of dealing with Sony. I don't know. But you gain so many other characters like Gwen Stacy and like Miles and all those guys too. So I don't know. Would you think it would be better if Disney had Spider-Man, or do you think Sony having Spider-Man is okay? Like, movie-wise, for the audience.
If I get another Into the Spider-Verse, I never want Sony to get rid of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which a year or two ago, before Into the Spider-Verse came out, I would have begged for the chance to have Disney own Spider-Man again, because Sony's not making good movies with them, you know? But here they make Into the Spider-Verse because they actually tried to make a good movie. And it was actually, that's the best Spider-Man movie ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, period.
I could.
And so, like, as long as they make stuff like that, as long as they make quality products, I'm fine with Sony owning Spider-Man.
But then you also have movies like Venom, which is weird, and I actually sort of dug it, but like it wasn't like amazing to me.
And I hated that because I feel like
it's like their live actions, they choose the weirdest things to go with it. Yeah. Whereas if it goes with Disney, I could see, Spider-Gwen on the live action, in the MCU, which would be really cool. I could see Miles in the MCU, which would be really awesome. But then we lose Spider-Verse, right? Mm-hmm. Unless if they decide, well, I guess they couldn't really just keep going with it. So I don't know.
I think they just need to stay the course. They have this very mutually beneficial relationship going on where Disney gets to use Spider-Man in the movies and Sony gets to make Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And as long as, like, Sony's live action Spider-Man movies, I'm not necessarily excited for. So I hope they just start going the animated route. I think that's what they should do. But I just stay the course. Like, I don't know how much money this next deal is going to cost Disney. Probably a lot more than it did, I imagine, to keep Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, everyone seems to be happy.
Well, I think they're happy for the next 2 years, but as soon as this next deal with Peter Parker comes up, I think Sony holds a lot of the cards.
They do. Yeah.
Like, so Disney's really going to have to, like, decide what they want to do with Spider-Man in, like, within these next 2 years, and probably put it in a spot where they can just end him if they need to, or continue with him. Like, it'll have to be, like, a smart move. Unless they buy Spider-Man for $5 billion.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. But
yeah, I don't see it happening, but I don't know. I've been wrong before a lot of times. So.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting to see.
But I don't think Sony's going to give up their hand.
Yeah. I don't either. It would blow my mind if they sold to Disney.
Yeah, I'd be shocked because that's all Sony has. I can't tell you anything else that Sony owns that is good enough, like Spider-Man.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Disney bought Star Wars for $4 billion. I thought it was $2 billion, but it's $4 billion. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we can move on from the news, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some of our unpopular opinions.
Yeah, this is just in Disney parks, not really like a. I think originally we had it for it's like Disney as a whole, but all my unpopular opinions were just had something to do with the parks, so we just kind of changed it to that.
I have to think of how I want to order these.
Yeah, I don't think we need to order them. I might save like my one big one for last, maybe, but For the most part, these aren't in any order. Yeah? Or maybe do you want to go for like most unpopular at the end?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any honorable mentions? I do not.
I don't, but I did want to talk about this because I thought it was really interesting.
Okay. Well,
So, like...
Oh, it's a honorable mention now? Or is this an honorable mention?
No, not
Okay.
really. It was just... so, I had kind of hard time coming up with ones for this. I had a couple, but then, like, my last few, I was like... you know, I had to, like, Google a lot, like, what other people's opinions were.
Yeah.
And then it would like spark some things, but so I basically ended up going way back, to when on like these forums, and like seeing people talk about like Magic Bands and Fast Pass Plus when they first were starting out, and it was so interesting how mad they were. About
Interesting.
it.
That's funny.
Yeah, because like now I feel like Fast Pass Plus and Magic Bands, it would be crazy not to have them. Like they're just so nice.
Yeah.
Like especially Magic Bands. Like Magic Bands, I don't know what the beef was with them at the beginning, but it was just so funny.
I think people just hate change.
Yeah, I think so, because like Magic Bands are awesome.
Yeah. It's fun collecting the different colors.
But yeah, people were very passionate. They were like, "I hate Magic Bands. It's so stupid."
I think Disney fans
Fast
as a
Plus-
whole are very passionate.
Yeah, they hate change.
Don't you take away my figment.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Okay.
Well, should I go first? Or you
Yeah,
wanna
go ahead.
Okay. So my first one, I think Navi River Journey is a good attraction.
I agree with that. And I think that is an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I think it gets a lot of hate, and I think that not every single attraction that gets created needs to be this groundbreaking e-ticket attraction. I think Navi River Journey does its job at being the people eater that Flight of Passage needs. And it's good. It caters to a different type of audience.
Yeah.
Than your like hardcore person, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good and popular opinion, because I feel like we had this conversation a couple weeks ago about how Disney's kind of put themselves in this corner where every new attraction has to be an e-ticket level attraction, or else there'll be backlash.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's very so it's nice when they put out these just kind of chill rides, and they're fine. Like, my biggest problem with it is short. That kind of stinks. But I think it's fine otherwise, and I think a year or two from now, when their wait times are going to go down to, less than 30 minutes on average, I think it's going to be fantastic. It's just a chill, like, you want to wait 20 minutes, get in the boat ride? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the worst part about it for me is the queue. The queue's the worst. I don't like this weird outside queue thing that Disney has going for it. It's like, let's make Toy Story Land and make there be no shade whatsoever. It's like, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what the thought process was of that.
So same way with this one. I guess there's shade in this one, but it's Animal Kingdom and it's hot inside. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good ride. I think it's very pretty. Sure, you could complain like there could be more animatronics in it. I could see that.
Yeah.
Being a complaint, but like it does have a really cool animatronic at the end, and the rest of the ride's pretty. It's just a nice, comforting ride.
Yeah.
To it. I can also see people not liking it, and I wouldn't like hate that opinion. I wouldn't be like, you're wrong. But
pretty much all my unpopular opinions, I think I could see the other side of it. But in my personal opinion, this is mine. Like, I think Navi River Journey is fine.
Yeah. So that's my number 5.
But I'm definitely not going to get into any arguments if someone's like, you know what sucks? Navi River Journey. I'm not going to step up and be like, let me fight my case. Like, like that's fine. Like that's a fair ride to hate. Like, I like it, but I will say you're crazy if you ever wait in line for it when it's more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think it...
But you could say that about any ride that's on that level, Like, I would never get on 3 Caballeros if it's wait time looked like it was 45 minutes. And that's my favorite ride at Epcot.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like, and the wait times can get, like, really high, too, for that ride. But, like, that's part of what it is it is a people eater, to make sure people have things to do at Avatar. And, like, people don't fit in Flight of Passage sometimes. Like, that's just the way it is. So it's nice for them to have an alternative ride to experience Pandora. So,
well, speaking of Three Caballeros, my favorite ride at Epcot is Three Caballeros.
Oh, is that your number 5?
That's my first unpopular opinion. I think, in my opinion, it's the best ride at Epcot. Well, not objectively. Objectively, it's Soarin'. But, like, me personally, like, I think Three Caballeros is more fun than Soarin'. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I like Three Caballeros quite a bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it gets a lot of crap, though.
It's not my favorite ride, but if people want to ride it, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I love seeing the animatronics at the end. If they didn't have those 3 animatronics at the end and it was just the screen like it was before, I don't think it would be my favorite ride.
Fair,
but I love those 3 animatronics.
Me too.
They're very fun.
Yeah, and it's just like part of why I love it so much is that it almost always is a walk-on.
True.
Like, that's just so, like, if you feel like riding on a ride, don't have to stress. Just get on this one. You almost never have to wait in line, which is so much fun. Yeah, and it's just like, I love boat rides in general, which is kind of why I agree with you on Navi River Journey. It's just pleasant, you know?
Yeah.
I love animation cartoons, which that has a lot of. I love the Three Caballeros. And I love animatronics. Like, it has a lot of things I love. And it gets a lot of crap. Like, a lot of people are like, when are they going to replace it with Coco? And I'll be so sad if they ever replace it with Coco.
I feel like there was a rumor.
No, there's always a rumor.
I feel like as soon as Coco came out, there was a rumor. But I feel like I heard it again recently.
Me and Megan were talking about it the other day, actually. We heard that rumor, too. They're going to have to do some major restructuring of that area if they're going to put in a Coco ride instead. Because, like, it wouldn't be able to handle the weights, like, people getting in there, you know, like, there's not enough room for a queue.
Yeah, well, I mean, plus they did fairly recently add those 3 animatronics, so I don't know if
wasn't that like over 10 years ago by now?
No,
really?
I don't think so. I think it was pretty recently. It was definitely like during our first college program.
I don't know.
Really?
Was it? I'm pretty sure it's been around for longer than that.
The animatronics?
I think so.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Oh well.
I kind of want to look it up now.
Okay, go for it. I'm finished if you want to say your next, unless you want to look this up.
I have to look it up.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll look up the animatronics.
I don't know if it's going to be easy to look up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Wait, go up. 2015? 2015, huh? Is that what it says?
I would have guessed 2015.
I would have guessed closer to 2010.
Yeah, 2015.
Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, because I was like pretty sure it happened on our first college program.
I don't remember seeing that for the first time on the college program then. Okay.
Yeah.
That was fairly recent then. Okay. What's your next one?
So, my next one. Again, talking about Flight of Passage, I prefer to ride Everest and or Dinosaur to Flight of Passage.
Yeah. Man, that you have some good ones. Like, I could have said that too.
Yeah. I actually thought that you were going to say that one.
I should have. If I thought of it, I would have. I like that more than one of the ones I had.
Also, just as a side note, I think the trails at Animal Kingdom are underrated.
Oh, they
too.
are. Yeah.
I really like the trails. But yeah, even if you gave me Everest at a 20-minute wait and Flight of Passage at a 20-minute wait, I think more often I would wait for Flight of Passage, but purely because it's a long wait time typically.
Yeah.
If we were just going into it on what ride I would prefer to ride, I would probably prefer to ride Everest. Like, I just like that ride better. I have more fun on it.
Yeah. Like, that's the same way with the Three Caballeros for me. If I saw Soarin' was a 10-minute wait, I'm not going to be, and Three Caballeros is a 10-minute wait. I wouldn't be like, we gotta get to Three Caballeros. It's like a walk-on.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I would almost always pick Soarin' over it. But, like, that's just because Soarin's typically at least a 40-minute wait around there, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, exactly. So, Flight of Passage just has its small issues that I think if they got rid of the glasses and it was just a screen, it would actually probably be my number one. Because I love Soarin'. And that's something Soarin' does that Flight of Passage doesn't, is they don't have those clunky glasses.
It's weird that they do.
I feel like I talk about the glasses every episode.
I think you just talk about it once or twice. It's fine.
But yeah, it always takes my eyes like half the time to adjust to like the screen with the glasses on and like the 3D. So Yeah. So I think I just prefer.
That's a good
Everest
one. I wish I
Dinosaur.
thought of that because I definitely did not.
Well, that's good. Now we have more to talk about.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get this one out of the way because I don't know if this is actually an unpopular opinion or not. But I absolutely hate the transition to projection mapping on fireworks shows nowadays. I think they look fine.
Oh,
but
yeah.
one of my when I worked at Magic Kingdom for my college program back in 2015, people would come up to me all the time and be like, "Where's your favorite spot for the fireworks?" And I had two favorite spots. My one favorite spot was right by Aladdin's Magic Carpet. It's almost always dead there, and you can see all the fireworks for Wishes perfectly. The other spot was right behind the castle because everyone else is going to Main Street to watch these fireworks.
Yeah.
Fast forward to like 2017 or so, when I last worked at Disney part-time, I picked up a shift from Magic Kingdom, and someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, where's your favorite spot to watch the fireworks?" And I'd have to say Main Street. If you go anywhere but Main Street, you're not seeing most of the show because you're not seeing Happily Ever After's projections, which is more, they have more projections than they have fireworks. So like so Main Street is just a horrible place to ever watch fireworks. It's just always crowded and I hate it.
Yeah.
So I absolutely hate the necessity for these projection mappings. I think they'd be fine if they're like subtle and they just enhance the show a bit. But Happily Ever After, you need to watch the projections. It is the show. It's not a fireworks show. It's a projection show with fireworks. You know?
Yeah.
It just makes me so angry that you have to go to Main Street now to watch fireworks. Because that's just that's the worst spot to stand and watch fireworks.
No, I agree. I'm definitely not as passionate about it as you are. I'm always into them doing new things. Like anytime somebody's like, "I want to try this new thing," I'm like, "Yeah, I love it." Like the kite thing at Epcot Forever, I was like, "Heck yeah, do it." It sounds weird, but I like it because it's new. You know what I mean? So I feel like I appreciate that. I agree though that Magic Kingdom is kind of hard to like commit to watching the show because it's so crazy 100%. At Main Street, and it is significantly better on Main Street. I love Happily Ever After. I think it's really good. Do you like the show?
I think it's fine. Wishes is better purely because you don't have to stand at Main Street to watch it. Oh, okay. If you could appreciate Happily Ever After to its fullest potential anywhere in the park, like you could Wishes, or like close to anywhere in the park, obviously, so then I would say Happily Ever After is better. Well, so let's say you are the only one in the park. Then Happily Ever After. Think Happily Ever After is better? It has the projections are cool. It's just that you're restricted to go to Main Street, you know? Yeah. So like, but you didn't have to worry about that in Wishes. You could watch it in like front of Splash Mountain, and you could get it for the most part. But yeah, it's like the most you miss is Tinkerbell, I guess. If you're in a group of like 3 of your friends and they're all like, "Oh, let's watch Happily Ever After," and you're like, "Okay, there's this really cool spot like by Aladdin's Magic Carpet. You want to watch it from there?" All your friends would be like, "Why would we do that? Yeah, we're missing like the entire show. Let's go to Main Street where it's shoulder to shoulder and you can't breathe." Because like, there's just like it's packed full of people because they're putting the entire park in Main Street. So do you have the same opinion at like Hollywood Studios with Star Wars, or is it just mainly Happily Ever After? It's mostly Happily Ever After because it's Magic Kingdom and there's just so many people. Yeah, it's so crazy. So the Star Wars one is kind of the same, but it's not as bad because like I feel like I can watch that and be like comfortable, you know. With that said, I still preferred the old show where they didn't have projections. Because it was nice. Well, like never mind, scratch that. Because Hollywood Studios, like back then, you couldn't stand anywhere but Hollywood Boulevard and in front of the Chinese Theater to watch the fireworks. There weren't any good spots. Yeah, but at least Wishes had a couple spots. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, definitely not as passionate about that, but I totally feel that, and I can see why. I don't know if that's actually an unpopular opinion. Maybe most people hate the projections as much as I do. I don't know. But I don't know. I think it makes sense. Okay. For an unpopular opinion. Yeah. All right. We better get a move on. Well, oh yeah, probably. Oh yeah. This is going to be a long one. Okay. All right.
Well, speaking of Magic Kingdom, I'll say my third one. Magic Kingdom is my least favorite park out of the 4 parks.
Probably mine too.
Yeah.
I think we agree.
I think we've talked about this before. But I love Magic Kingdom. I think it's a great park. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm saying it's my least favorite. My 2 favorites are Epcot and Hollywood Studios. They always fight for the number 1 spot, kind of just depending on what's happening. It always
goes back and forth for me and those 2.
Yeah, what's happening on that day, is one busy than the other one.
Yeah,
like
it's food and wine going on.
Yeah, then, So Epcot and Hollywood are my 2 favorites. And then Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom always fight for the last spot, or for the 3rd spot, I guess. Yeah, lately I think I've just preferred Animal Kingdom, mainly because Magic Kingdom is just always so busy. Yeah, and it's always such a hassle to get there too.
That's the big thing for me.
Yeah. For me, it's more the crowds. I mean, to get there is a hassle too, but for me, it's the crowds that always draws me away from it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my number 3.
Cool. Yeah, I agree for the most part. Magic Kingdom's it's just the busiest theme park in the entire world. Magic Kingdom. It's just the crowds just do it for me. I can't handle it most of the time, and the fact that it just takes an hour to get there. I live 15. It's a 15. No, it's more like a 5 or 10 minute drive from my house to Magic Kingdom, and it takes me 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think I would also call that an unpopular opinion, because I think a lot of people love Magic Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
So
I think
that's a good unpopular opinion.
I think Animal Kingdom would probably be the bottom, or Epcot even. But
Yeah.
I think Epcot actually has this weird resurgence where everybody loves it.
Well,
At
I
least,
think it's a big age thing. I think as kids, you weren't big fans of it, but I think if you're older, you appreciate Epcot a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
Epcot's the grown-up park, in my opinion, mostly because that's where everyone goes and buys liquor.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man. But anyway, let's see. I got another one. Dinosaur is better than Indiana Jones.
I knew
figured
this was
you
going
knew
to be
this.
one.
You can't have a Sounds of Monorail podcast without me talking about Dinosaur. I just remember before I went to Disneyland, I would say Dinosaur is my favorite ride in Animal Kingdom, and every time, without fail, I would get the same reaction. Ugh, it's nothing compared to Indiana Jones. I would get that every time. Every time. It was just making me mad at some point, because I really liked that ride. And I never went to Disneyland, so I always just assumed it actually was better. Finally went to Disneyland, finally rode it. It is a really good ride, but it's just nowhere near as good as Dinosaur. Because Indiana Jones, just you can see all the other cars, you can see all the tracks. Just felt like a ride to me. It didn't really feel when I go on Dinosaur, I straight up feel like I'm going. That's the most immersive ride in Disney World for me. Honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe besides Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run is pretty immersive for me, but I like Dinosaur more than Smuggler's Run.
Yeah. No, I love Dinosaur.
They do such a good job of making the car feel like you're in this Jeep going through this jungle, and man, I don't know.
You know what I think they do a good job of is making it seem like you are traveling through time.
I love that part.
The beginning,
I totally agree.
They nail it for me.
Yeah.
Especially the beginning with the little portal thing. Projection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they do a great job with that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's if you blink for too long, it's whoa, now I'm in the Cretaceous period or whatever.
And that one part where your Jeep has loss of traction, and the Carnotaurus behind you starts running out. Oh man, that gets me every time. I love that. That's my favorite part. Oh yeah,
no, it's super good.
But yeah, it's better than Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is still really good, but I can't even compare the two, and Dinosaurs is so much better.
Yeah. No, I think I agree, actually. I think we somehow are sharing a lot of these unpopular opinions.
Yeah. It's just we're twinning it up today. Yeah. Yes, I don't know.
I think so. But yeah, I think I do like Dinosaur better as well. I like the pre-show, and I like the ride.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
But Indiana Jones is good.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. What's another one from yours?
Okay, so my top two are very similar, so I'm actually going to combine them. I just thought of another one.
Okay.
In my head. So my second one is going to be, I like shows at the theme parks pretty significantly better than the attractions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is kind of a new thing for me, but
I don't agree with that. That's like the first one we don't share, I think.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of a show I like more than a ride.
I'm always excited to see a show. And
shows
maybe
are
it's
you
because
thinking
like
of?
our family's so attraction heavy, we would always do attractions. So now I'm like reliving the shows. But like
Now
like
that you're old and elderly.
in Disneyland, I would love the Frozen show. That was like the Broadway-esque show. I loved the storytelling thing. I miss Lights, Motors, Action. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, I really want to go there. We saw Indiana Jones the other day, and it was super cool.
Dang. Yeah, you're listing like all the top tier shows because like you said that, and I'm thinking like, man, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah.
Those are horrible shows.
No, like Finding Nemo at Animal Kingdom. I love that show.
Yeah,
that's a good
you're
one.
listing a lot of good shows.
The
actually,
Animal Kingdom, the Lion King show is really good. Like I feel like I enjoy myself so much more going to the shows than I do the attractions a lot of times.
Okay.
Like I'm not even like this is not even counting fireworks either. I'm not counting.
What about Fantasmic?
Fantasmic, I'll count because that's more
show than
more of a
fireworks.
show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in general I'm more of a show guy.
Okay, interesting. I don't think I agree, but I totally see where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
Like especially since you listed some Disneyland places I wasn't even thinking of, but like, and then you listed like Lights, Motors, Action, which isn't here anymore. Like I'm thinking Hollywood Studios, like which was supposed to be the quote unquote show park, and now it just has Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Star Wars Galactic Spectacular, or not? No, that's the fireworks show. The stage show. I don't even know what it's called. Galaxy Far, Far Away or something.
Yeah, I don't
where
even
the
know.
characters literally just go on stage and stand there and then walk back.
Oh, that one. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the nighttime one. Do you know what the nighttime one's called?
I don't. I think it's Galactic Spectacular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I just mixed up the.
Gotcha.
And then there's the Jedi one, Jedi training. You like that show?
Yeah, that one's cool. Oh, I have a weird story about the Jedi one.
Yeah,
it was really funny.
Go ahead and share it. I know we're running pretty long with this one, but who cares?
Yeah,
it's my podcast. Go ahead. I want to know the story.
I was walking by the show, and like Kylo Ren comes out, and he's like, "Join the dark side," blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden, everybody, like Darth Vader and Kylo Ren, just like walk back inside because it's like starting to rain. Whatever. It was like the most like anticlimactic thing ever. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny.
It was like, it was super sad.
Oh my gosh, I just imagine them like, oh my, like not even like reacting to the rain, just like
they didn't,
just like a comical like, whoop, go right back in.
That's pretty much
so
what it was.
funny.
And then like the Jedi Master, he like had to like collect all the students and like.
Oh my gosh.
I guess improv. I don't know.
Yeah. What did you do?
We didn't really stay. We just kept going.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty weird.
Oh my gosh, that's a good story. Okay. Let's see. You probably knew this one was going to be on here. Test Track is the worst ride at Epcot, hands down. Yeah, hands down. I'm not even going in personal opinion. It is objectively the worst ride at Epcot.
I'm trying to think if there's a worse ride for me.
The closest one I can think of would be Living with the Land. But even then, I like Living with the Land. And it's not, you can't compare Living with the Land and Test Track either. They're two different things.
Yeah, I think I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Subjectively the worst?
I think so.
Objective, that's a poor choice of words. I okay, fine. In my personal opinion, it is the worst. Fine.
I could see like,
but I just don't think it's a good ride. Like
yeah,
it's.
I think for me too, it's the worst one. I'd rather ride the other ones. But like I could maybe like the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I could ride Test Track before that one.
Okay, that one's probably worse.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that one, but I'd rather do like the Crush show than Test Track.
Oh, I love the
Crush show.
Turtle Talk.
Yeah,
that one's great.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't care for the Frozen ride, but I'd rather ride that than Test Track. Yeah, I think Nemo's worse than Test Track, but who cares? Test Track is still awful. It's just like I'm not a fan of the aesthetic. The funnest part of the ride is when you go 60 miles per hour in a car, which I do every day.
Yeah.
I drive to work every day 80 miles per hour. So, like, I think it's better than, what's it called? The Speedway. I'd rather ride Test Track than Speedway.
Yeah.
Speedway straight up.
For sure.
Speedway is straight up rush hour simulator.
I think, Speedway I think is my least favorite attraction in the entire.
Yeah. Like, I
Disney
don't know
World.
if I'd say that too, but it'd be pretty close. I'd rather ride Test Track. But Test Track just like, there's nothing fun about Test Track up until the last part. Like, what's the funnest part before I guess when it goes out of control? Like the very first test, I guess.
Yeah, maybe like the.
But even that's like not that fun. Like,
I feel like I liked it so much better before because there was like a story, and then like you get the person talking to you about what's happening.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like, do you remember like the terrain one where you'd like bump around
I love
and
that.
stuff?
Yeah,
because
I bet they did that because it was rough on the tires and it was too
Probably.
expensive for them. They're tired of changing tires or something. Let's see what I was gonna say. Yeah, I love the old aesthetic so much. I think the aesthetic of like a crash dummy like area is way cooler than like this Tron thing they got going for them. And it's just such a long ride. Like on average, I'm waiting half an hour if I get a fast pass for Test Track. Like it is ridiculous how long it takes to get to the ride.
Yeah.
Like you gotta like, of course, making your cars topped on top of that too. But it just all takes so long, and then when you finally get up to it, it starts sprinkling outside, and they close the ride. Like I can't handle Test Track. It's just like it's always such a long wait for not a very good ride.
Yeah. I feel like if you're like a huge car fan, it's a good ride for you.
And I'm not a huge car fan.
Yeah.
So, like
especially, but like even then, I think it's like mostly the end where you get to see all the nice cars that are like way out of your price range.
I think that's more fun than going on the ride itself. Is seeing the cars at the end.
I like making my car.
I think
too.
making a car is more fun than the ride itself.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I wish you could like just make one without a time limit.
you can.
Oh, like in the.
You can go in the end. You can make your car after the ride in the exit area.
Ooh.
Yeah, we should do that. Make the best car.
Cool.
And then not ride the ride.
You know, every time I walk in there, though, I see like the best vehicle design today, with like a score of like 300 or whatever it is, and I always am like, I want to be that.
I bet it's not that hard. I bet you.
I
could
feel
figure
like
it out.
I think you could literally Google it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then
I'm
just,
sure you
like-
could just Google the best thing or whatever. Anyway, we can get going if you want to say your last one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll mix my two together here. So I think this is a pretty big hot take here.
Okay, my last one's a pretty hot take too. Like I think I'm gonna make a lot of people mad with my last unpopular opinion. I might make you mad.
Ooh.
Probably not
I'm
mad,
excited.
but I don't think you'll agree with mine.
So I think IPs invading Epcot is good and will
Kyle.
make it more entertaining for kids and adults without sacrificing culture and education, at least too much. And I also think Frozen Ever After
get
is
outta
better
here.
than Maelstrom.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm indifferent with Frozen and Maelstrom, so I don't really care. But I hardcore don't agree with the IP thing. But it's mostly like, you think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to retain culture and education?
Well, I think I'm more so talking about World Showcase.
Okay. You think Ratatouille is going to...
I think Ratatouille just helps entertain kids. Kids think Epcot's boring. Kids don't care about the culture of Canada or France. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Breaking it hard to all the boomers out there.
Oh, sorry.
No,
they don't care. So I think the little girls going on to Frozen Ever After enjoy that ride a lot more than seeing a troll say, disappear, disappear, and shaking the boat. I don't know. I just don't think it really is like that big of a deal to have the IPs come in. I don't think it's like destroying all the things that the World Showcase stands for. I think the adult can come in and celebrate the culture and still have the IPs there to like, and still go on Ratatouille and like run away from the chef or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. I'm not a huge fan of IPs, but I think it's just because it's such a boring, safe way to like make something new.
Like,
know?
I was disappointed in Frozen Ever After in the sense that, like, I was hoping they were going to go still educational with it, but it definitely wasn't.
Yeah. Well, how could they? It's not even, doesn't even take place in Norway.
But I think they could have. I think they could have found a way to celebrate Norwegian culture and stuff.
I guess, like,
with
just
the
by,
Frozen
like, calling it Arendelle culture.
I don't know.
Because like I'm very confused about like the lore of Frozen
Yeah.
because we were listening to the song, the Olaf song from like the Christmas short like yesterday, and they said at one point in the song he mentions Norway, and I was so confused. I was like, wait, are they on Earth? Like, where's Norway? What's Arendelle? Like, I was super confused. It's
Yeah.
like don't open that can of worms. Like, obviously, you're based on Norway, but don't name drop the whole country of Norway in your fantasy world.
I think Arendelle's supposed to be in Norway, right?
Is it? I thought it was its own country.
I was thinking
That'd be like watching Lord of the Rings and they like name dropped Canada, or name dropped New Zealand. Like, you know, like I don't know. Like, I thought you were trying to like establish your own world. Like, where's Norway?
I think it was like a backdoor kind of thing, whereas like it was based in Norway. I don't know.
The lore of Frozen is broken. It's breaking my world building and immersion. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of IPs coming everywhere. I mean, I'm okay with IPs, but like I think Disney World's best rides are ones without IPs.
Yeah.
Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I think the rides with IPs are still good. Like, I'm super
They're
excited
still
for
fine.
Guardians. Are you not excited?
Oh,
for Guardians?
I'm stoked for Guardians. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm so excited for it. But like, it doesn't fit in Epcot.
Test Track doesn't have an IP. No, I'm just kidding.
Doesn't work for everything. But like, I don't know. Remember Tiki Room under new management? Just throwing Zazu. And like.
Yeah.
Like,
Those types of things. Definitely. I think it definitely has to be like pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Like, I'm still not a huge fan of them putting Jack Sparrow in Pirates. Like, I think it's fine, but like.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me.
That's kind of dumb, I think.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I don't think. I think Jack Sparrow is. I mean, that whole movie line was really good, and like everybody loved it. So whatever.
Well, we better hurry up and say my last unpopular opinion. I'm curious if you're not. I don't think you'll agree with this.
I'm curious.
I'm glad the Great Movie Ride is being replaced by Mickey's Runaway Railway.
I have mixed opinions. I like that there's a new Mickey ride.
Me too.
But
yeah.
I think it came at a great cost. And
yeah, I mean, I like the Great Movie Ride, but it's like by the time it closed, it was a shell of its former self. Like, you know, the best part about Great Movie Ride
true.
was all the you know, the driver would be talking and stuff and make jokes, and you would be the actor and stuff, and it was just so scripted by the end. It wasn't as fun. Before, it was like Jungle Cruise, where like it depended on who you got. Like, you might get like a really good driver and made the whole experience different, you know. But by the end, they went into like recordings of that one dude. I don't know his name.
I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you his name. Like, he was just talking about the movies instead, and there's just an entire scripted thing. The best part about the ride is all the animatronics. I love animatronics, so that's what I'm most sad about. But guy, Hollywood Studios is hardly even about Hollywood and movies anymore. Like, you know, like they might as well make a Mickey Mouse ride, which I freaking love Mickey Mouse. I love those specific cartoons like even more. So, and if it's a creative ride, like, that's even better. I don't know how exactly the ride works. I don't think most anyone does right now. But if it's a cool creative ride, then awesome. I guess I really need to wait to have this opinion until it opens. Because it could be the best ride ever, and I could be satisfied with my unpopular opinion. Or it could be really bad, and I'll be like, I missed a Great Movie Ride.
Yeah, I think I agree with you in the sense that, like, great movie ride. If it were to have stayed, it would have been weird. It would have been kind of this weird ride in this land that doesn't make sense. Whereas, like, if you just throw Mickey in it, everything doesn't make sense. So it like weirdly comes together. It's like,
Yeah, right.
But no, in all seriousness, though, I am really excited for the Mickey ride. Actually,
I'm so excited for it.
I think Mickey rides in general you don't really see them all that much.
Yeah, I mean, we have Fill Our Magic. I think that's the only other, like, what you could classify as Mickey ride. I mean, it's a show.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm, like, trying to think.
Besides, like, meet and greets.
There's not an attraction, right?
I don't think so. They used to have the orchestra, like the Mickey Orchestra. That's what Fill Our Magic replaced. Or, well, Fill Our Magic replaced the Lion King show, but the Lion King show replaced the orchestra.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting like an attraction that like.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is Mickey's first ride.
So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's cool. I am, but I am very heartbroken.
Would you rather have Great Movie Ride? Do you agree?
I think that'd have to be answered when the ride comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
New one. I think this new one could be better.
But I do like change though, and I appreciate getting new things.
Yeah.
And Great Movie Ride just wasn't doing it for me anymore. Like that was just the ride I'd only get on if everyone else wanted to go on, or if there's nothing else to do. You know. So yeah, I'm excited. I want a new ride.
Yeah, I think I'm excited too. Okay. It's just a little sad, but I think I'm kind of over it now. I think at the beginning when it shut down, I was like more devastated than I am now. Now I'm used to it. So
yeah, I gotcha.
All right. Well, is that the last one?
Yeah, that's the last one.
I don't think I had anything else. Okay, cool. Well, long episode.
Hour 15.
It's cool. Not our longest, I don't think. I think our longest was like...
Oh, probably the Avengers review?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that one was really long, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And our Galaxy's Edge one was really long.
Was it? I don't remember.
I think so.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. This is my favorite part of the week, so it's really fun. And as always,
Kwaherini.